The moment I heard those words, I knew I wasn't dealing with an ordinary case. He spoke softly, his tone serious, his gaze intense. It was the kind of look that demanded your attention and begged you to believe him. There are things happening here that you wouldn't understand. Things you aren't supposed to know. Trust me, you don't want to get involved. His words hung in the air, heavy with implications I couldn't quite grasp. There was an urgency in his voice that made me lean in closer, desperate to understand the hidden meanings behind his cryptic message. You need to leave town. Disappear. Don't ask questions! Just go! His eyes were filled with a mixture of fear and determination. It was evident that he was risking a lot by telling me this. And for a moment, I couldn't help but wonder what secrets he was hiding. Who was he, and why was he sharing these terrifying revelations with me? His hands trembled slightly as he pushed the envelope across the desk towards me. I hesitated, torn between a morbid curiosity and a growing sense of dread. The envelope felt cold to the touch, as if it had been deliberately chilled. With trembling hands, I tore open the envelope, revealing its contents. Inside lay a photograph that seemed to mock me with its normalcy. It was a family portrait, a husband and wife, smiling warmly, their 2 children flanking them with innocent smiles. The picture exuded happiness, a stark contrast to the sinister undertones of the conversation we had just shared. He leaned back in his chair, his face drained of color. That's why you have to leave. They will come for you if you stay here. You need to protect yourself. His words were a jumble of urgency and terror. I could tell he wasn't just saying this to scare me. There was a genuine danger lurking in his words, a danger that threatened to consume me whole. As I stared at the photograph, I noticed something peculiar. The woman in the picture bore a striking resemblance to myself, down to the tiny mole on her left cheek. It was then that the gravity of the situation truly hit me. This was more than just a casual warning. This was a matter of life and death. I had stumbled upon something dark, something sinister. Before I could ask any more questions, he stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor, sending a loud screech that echoed in the tense silence. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but it had to be this way. Please, take care of yourself. Be safe. He rushed to the door, his shadow a frantic dance against the wall. Leave now, before it's too late, he whispered urgently. And then he disappeared down the hallway, leaving me alone in the room with the photograph and a heart that pounded against my ribs like a trapped bird. I didn't know where to go, who to call, or even what to do. Fear coiled around me like a constrictor, making it hard to breathe. Was this man who called himself my father really my biological father? Why did he only appear now, after all these years? And why was he so afraid? What danger did I face? The photograph in my hand seemed to burn into my skin, a constant reminder of the unsettling truth that was revealed. As the day wore on, I found myself questioning everything I knew. Memories that I thought were securely tucked away came flooding back, fragmented and unclear. There was a recurring image. A woman with haunting green eyes. A woman who looked exactly like me. But who was she? And why did her face haunt my subconscious? Determined to find answers, I decided to visit my grandparents, hoping they could shed some light on this tangled web of secrets. Their home, once a place of warmth and familiarity, now seemed like a labyrinth of hidden truths. My grandfather, his face etched with deep lines of worry, listened intently to my tale. My grandmother, her eyes clouded with sadness, didn't utter a word. But the tears that streamed down her face spoke volumes. "I'm sorry! My child!" my grandfather said finally, his voice heavy with regret. "There are things about your past that were kept from you for your own safety. Your parents, they loved you very much. They wouldn't have done anything that could harm you." His words hung in the air, offering more questions than answers. Why were secrets kept from me? What danger did my parents think I was in? And most importantly, who am I? As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the room, I realized that I had been lied to for almost 17 years. The truth, whatever it was, had been buried deep within our family, carefully concealed for reasons that were never clear. The weight of the revelation pressed down on me, threatening to crush me with its implications. Driven by an insatiable thirst for answers, I decided to delve into my family's past. I scoured through old photo albums, searching for clues, for anything that could shed light on the mystery that I had become entangled in. Among the faded photographs and yellowed letters, I discovered a diary. Its leather cover was worn, its pages filled with elegant cursive writing. It was my mother's diary. As I read through her entries, I felt as though I was uncovering layers of an onion, each page revealing a new facet of a hidden reality. The diary spoke of a deep love, a forbidden romance between my parents. Their love story was one of passion and secrecy, a love that had been scorned by society and rejected by their families. It became clear that my parents' marriage was not a simple union. It was a defiance against societal norms, a rebellion against the expectations of their world. But there was more. As I delved deeper into the diary, I stumbled upon entries that spoke of fear, of a lurking danger that threatened to tear their newfound happiness apart. My parents' fear was palpable, their words echoing with a terror that transcended time. There was a force, an entity that sought to destroy them, that wanted to keep us apart. Suddenly, a knock on the door shattered the silence of the room. I quickly hid the diary, my heart pounding in my chest. Was someone searching for the answers I had found? The knock came again, more insistent this time, demanding my attention. With a deep breath to steady my nerves, I got up to answer the door. Standing on my doorstep was a man I didn't recognize. He was tall and imposing, his face hard and unforgiving. His eyes, cold and calculating, scanned the surroundings as if looking for something. "Are you the caretaker's grandchild?" he asked, his voice gruff and devoid of warmth. Before I could respond, he continued, "I need to speak with you about your parents. It's important." I hesitated. Something in his demeanor, something in his eyes, made me wary, but the mention of my parents compelled me to lead him inside. As I ushered him into the living room, I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that had settled upon me like a shroud. The man sat down heavily, his gaze fixed on the floor. After a moment, he began to speak. "Your parents! They knew things they shouldn't have. They stumbled upon secrets that were best left buried." I felt a chill run down my spine. What secrets had my parents uncovered? And what did this man want with me? They had to be silenced, erased from existence. No one could know what they had seen, what they had learned. His words hung in the air, heavy with menace. Fear clutched at my heart, squeezing the breath from my lungs. What did he mean? Was this the reason my parents were so secretive? Had they been killed for knowing too much? The man looked up, his eyes boring into mine. And now it seems their daughter knows too much. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? A shiver raced down my spine. What did he mean? What did I know? I wanted to scream, to run, but my body wouldn't move. I was frozen in fear, trapped in a nightmare of my parents' past. "Don't worry," the man said, a cruel smile spreading across his face. "Soon, you will join them. Soon, we will all be together." Panic surged through me. What did he mean? Was he going to kill me? As he rose to his feet, his shadow looming over me, I gathered whatever courage I could muster. "What do you want from me?" I asked, my voice trembling but defiant. Maybe if I understood what he wanted, I could fight back. Maybe I could protect myself. "Oh, I want you to suffer," he whispered, his eyes gleaming with a disturbing light. "To suffer the way they did, to die the way they died. It will be a family reunion." And with that, he lunged.